Good morning. I will call the morning, October 8th, 2024 Norfolk Planning Commission meeting to order. Inform the public of the Open Meetings Act in the Northwest corner. And ask for roll.
Waite.
Here.
Sock.
Here.
Bryant.
Here.
Hupkey.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Kuby. Griffith.
Here.
Mason. Ronfelt.
Here. I'd ask for approval of the full agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and a second.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
And consideration of the approval of the minutes of the September 4th Planning Commission meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second.
One more. There we go. All commission members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
I'll open up the public hearing at the request of Darren and Roxanne Dykeman to consider a conditional use permit for an oversized accessory building on property addressed as 2305 West Newcourt Road. Anyone here for this? Come on up. Morning, yep. And
Morning.
I just have you sign in. Morning.
Good morning.
What do you got planned?
We're just planning on building a shed back on our land, kind of south and west of our house.
And how big are you looking to go?
50 by 100.
Val, what's the normal range on that?
Usually the max for total detached accessory is 3,500. And I measured the little shed here in that they already have, that be about 400 square feet. So you would take that plus whatever they're asking for.
Okay. So it'll be that 5,400-ish?
Right.
Okay. Anything in particular that you want to do with it?
Just to have family events out there. I
Sure.
got 6 kids, 6 grandkids, and more on the way, and just a place to gather. And
Space.
yeah, when everybody's there, our house is a little tight. So
Fair enough.
I don't farm, I don't have equipment, so it's just mainly to have a place for everybody to gather.
Fair enough. All right, thank you. Morning,
Want me to sign in too?
please.
Okay, my name's Matt Retzloff. I live north of the Diekmans, but we own the 40 acres directly north of their property. And I'm just here to make sure I understand it completely and so there was a map included in the letter I got with the boundaries that does impose on our property, and I just want to make sure that it's gonna have no effect on what I do with my property.
I can answer that one.
Thank you.
So that map, the hatched area is the property that we're talking about for the cup today. And that 300-foot boundary that includes other people's property, that is by state law that we have to notice those people within 300 feet that something is going on property within 300 feet. So nothing is happening to anybody else's property except the hatch area. That is just by law who we have to notice that they're close enough that something is going on their neighbor's property.
Okay, so nothing will affect me whatsoever with
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted is clarification. Thank you.
Essentially giving you the heads up that, hey, your neighbors are doing something.
Okay.
Anyone else want to speak as part of the public hearing? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and open for discussion. Val, do we have just a stock one of these with the normal conditions, no business or commercial operated?
This is one that we did a couple years ago that is very similar to this, where they had already detached accessory structures, so that was number one. And then no commercial use, no storage of hazardous materials, and they want to build a metal building. Normally, anything over 180 square feet needs to be compatible with the house. And so only by a cup can you give that relief. So this is something similar that we've done.
And you said it was 400 square feet for the other shed. We're looking at 5,000 for this one.
Correct.
So just adding in no more than 55 or 54, whatever, I guess. I don't know if we allow a little bit of variance on that at all or not.
Sometimes we put a little wiggle room, 50 to 100 square feet in there, just in case I didn't measure the existing one correctly or GIS didn't have it quite right. So if you wanted to go up to a total of 5,500, you could certainly do that.
Any other conditions? I take a motion with those conditions that we discussed.
Make a motion to have city staff prepare a conditional use permit for discussion and action at the next regularly scheduled planning commission meeting for an oversized accessory building on property addressed as 2305 West Newcore Road, with the added condition of number one being 5,500 square feet.
Second that motion.
Motion is second. Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Open up the public hearing at the request of Off-Road Ranch LLC to consider a conditional use permit to operate a stock car racetrack on property located at 2900 Old Highway 8. Anyone here for this? Good morning.
Morning. Can't believe it's been 10 years. Yeah, so we're just here to, if there's any questions, it's just a renewal for the conditional use permit for the Speedway.
Anything specific that you've run into over the course of the last 10 years with the conditions?
Well, we've had some amendments done, and I think it's been 5 or 6 years ago, but yeah, nothing right now.
Val, that you're aware of, has there been any other situational things with non-compliance or anything like that?
The last year or two, I haven't gotten any calls, like they've been running over since you expanded to 1130 here 17, I think it was, 17, 18, something like that. They got an extra hour one way or
Sure,
the other, I
because
think.
we were going over, and that was the problem, that we had to to fix that.
Any other things that you would like to see changed in the, as it stands now?
No.
Just as is? Okay. All right, thank you.
Val, does the conditional use permit, does it go with the owner of the property, or how does this one work?
Yeah, this is a personal privilege to Off-Road Ranch LLC, I believe it is. I can
Okay.
bring up their cup.
So if they were to sell it, they would, the new owners would have to come in and get a
Right,
conditional
yeah.
use permit. Okay.
It is Off-Road Ranch LLC, so it is a personal privilege to them, yes.
Okay. I did see, sir, that, or were you trying to sell the property? I seen it on a real estate website. So that way, like, if it does sell, that you'd have to come back in, or the new person would have to come back in and do this conditional use permit again.
Is that a question?
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure you're aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else like to speak as part of the public hearing?
I just have questions, I guess.
If I could get you to just sign in for me?
Sure.
Thanks.
Like, I have the notice, and I was wondering, is this an expansion of the current? It's just, they have the stock car track there already. Is this an expansion of that? Something new, or just a,
No, it's not. The current permit that they have now expires on October 28th, and so this is just renewing.
that,
Yeah, I'm assuming the same conditions we'll discuss, kind of what conditions will go in there, but it's just a renewal of the one that's expiring.
okay, and what are the dates? Is it Saturdays and Sundays still?
So I don't have
For-
the,
It's just Saturdays is what our condition is. Saturdays from 5:30 PM until 11:30 PM, April 1st through October 1st.
It does have three other, like, potential,
Specific dates?
three other
Oh, sure.
special nights or something, yeah.
Is that what you were looking at? Okay.
Is that, okay. So that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if it was gonna be another stock, or it's just a renewal.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Good morning.
I'm Dale Primrose. I'm one of the owners of Pettit Plumbing, and I'm also a lifelong adult racer. Raised three kids in the sport that I'm understandably proud of. I just wanted to speak in support of the track. So having saying that I'm a lifelong racer, raised my family there. The people that I race with are probably my closest friends, borderline family. In my opinion, it's a really wonderful environment, and I would hate to see it run into any obstacles, because I think that we as a racing community are trying to do everything we can to be good neighbors and still pursue what is our passion and our love. So I just hoping to speak for support, and I am always available if I can answer any questions that come from, a different perspective.
Thank you. Any others like to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, open for discussion. Yeah, certainly not opposed to the hobby. I grew up also the Brown County Speedway in South Dakota, so
if you've ever been there. Spent my Saturday nights hanging out, watching race cars.
I did too, here. So I actually know who it is, because I grew up around it too.
Sounds like it's fairly cut and dry as far as no other new conditions. 10 years. Would you like to see it at? 10 years still fine? Okay.
And does 11:30 cut it for that? I mean, no issues there?
Yeah. I think they increased it to 11:30 to fit within that time frame is kind of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just shocked 11:30 is long enough, sometimes.
I don't believe they're asking to expand their hours or anything, just to redo
No.
Yeah. I'd take a motion.
Make a motion to have city staff prepare a conditional use permit for discussion and action at the next regularly scheduled planning commission meeting for a stock car racetrack on property located at 2900 Old Highway 8.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
And valid consideration of the recommendation of the final plat of RBBA subdivision.
This is a piece of property just east of like the state game and park and police land. I can bring that up. Let me see where I put it. So it's this kind of weird shaped piece of property right along Highway 81, just north of the cemetery. Here's the state game and parks and police. And they are wanting to plat this one large 10-acre piece off into an outlot for stormwater. Lot 1 wants to get built on, and then the remaining Lot 2. So somebody could buy Lot 2 as a whole, or they could subdivide Lot 2 in the future if they had other businesses that want to come in and need smaller pieces of property.
Where is that in relation to like state patrol? You go back to the other map. That's why I assume that right there is state patrol.
Yeah, are they down here and Parks is up here or something like that?
Oh, state patrol is just north of there. Okay.
Oh, I got them flipped.
And that northeast corner is where the stormwater runoff will be?
Right, and they're leaving the trees and things like that as buffer for the highway corridor, just to kind of help keep some of that. And there are a couple still little houses right in this corner too, so that would remain as buffer to them too.
Fair enough. I would take a motion.
There's no further discussion. I'll make a motion to consider recommendation of the final plat of RBBA subdivision.
Second that motion.
A motion, 2 seconds.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
All right. Consideration of the recommendation of a sidewalk waiver request by Calvin and Peggy Sue Miller on property located at 509 Southeast Wood. Come on up.
Morning.
Good morning.
We purchased this property from Karen Miller. She did a subdivide of what kind of shows in the lot there. As the subdivide was done, it's just city ordinance to add the sidewalk to the plot map, is my understanding. Just looking to waive as no other sidewalks are in the area. If we bring this sidewalk through where the actual lot line is about off the center of the road. It's about 80-plus feet going from the road to the east or to the right on the picture that I see. It'd be back in the middle where just go into trees on one side and then open ground on the other. So I don't know of any reason to have a sidewalk there, pedestrian traffic or anything of that nature. None of the other homes in the area have any sidewalks to abut to at this time.
Yeah, I think we all understand that. I think the biggest thing that we want to just give you the heads up on is if in fact, when things, sidewalks, those, properties start abutting and, you will be responsible at that time to put that in. We've approved a lot of these over the course of the last, 6-7 years because, well, Woodland Park is an example. I think we had the North 25th as an example, but just to give you that fair warning that if and when the development starts getting out there and the city would be requiring sidewalks at that time.
Sure, absolutely.
Just as the bootstrap of.
That'd be fair enough at that time for sure.
Yeah.
I don't foresee anything else going on in that property for a long
Don't
time.
necessarily either, but
Just
a fair share of a warning, I guess.
Appreciated, yes.
20 years from now, I don't want you coming back at me.
No. 20 years, maybe there'll be more trees.
Touche. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no further discussion. I'll make a motion to consider recommendation of a sidewalk waiver requested by Calvin and Peggy Sue Miller on property located at 509 South Eastwood.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
And Val, your August 2024 building permit report.
All right, so August 2024, we're doing it on the first meeting just because we didn't have anything on last meeting when we normally would have done it. We did have one new single-family detached, so as of this year, we have 47. Last year at this time, we had 31. No new duplexes, so we have one duplex this year, and we had 21 last year. No new multifamily. We were at 30 units for this year and 44 for last year. 3 new single-family attached, so we're at 6, and then last year was 12. And building valuation is about $250.7 million less than last year because of all the industrial last year.
Thank you, Val. Any other open topics or concerns?
I'll just remind you that this Friday is the NPZA virtual workshop, and we did lay the agenda at each of your stations. If you do have a chance, you're all signed up because it was the same cost for everybody. So I'll just throw that out there. If you have a chance and see something interesting, you're certainly welcome to do that. And then obviously in the spring, we'll be their full in-person one again.
Were we supposed to receive an email from that?
Yeah, usually it is like the day before.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I haven't seen one yet.
They're very last minute.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even that morning. So, yeah, you'll get something from them, not me. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the agenda and how fitting that there is a disaster resilience portion, given what's going on in the state of this country. There's no other open topics or concerns. I'd take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
folks.